First of all, I'd just like to let you know how nervous I am. Yesterday I was having dinner with a couple of my friends, actually the guys who served you your coffee, and they were really trying to calm me down to get me to, you know, just think and talk straightforward. And I was feeling really great, and then we were at a Chinese restaurant, and I opened up my fortune cookie, and what it said was, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. So, I'm hoping for the best. If I have long, awkward pauses, that's what it's going to be. What I'd like to talk to you about is how we can create a food culture here in Houston that is completely untapped. And I'm going to do it in a little bit of a roundabout way. What I'd like to first talk about is staging. I was just in Denmark and Belgium for 3 months. And what I did was a stage. A stage is a term for a cook or a chef to go out in someone else's restaurant and work for free, which is really weird. It's one of the only occupations I can tell that already has such grueling work, long hours, 16, 17 hours a day, very low pay. Maybe I think the highest hourly wage I've ever made was $12 an hour. And my little sister in New York in PR is making $15 an hour already, and so I have no idea what to do. But in the end, to go into a kitchen, to work for free is to be utterly dedicated to your craft, to yourself. And I'll show you how it can create new cultures in food. So why do you stage? When I went into Belgium and Denmark, the stage is someone who's the very lowest to low. They do the most menial tasks. You scrub the grease traps. You pick the little shrimp that's down there. These little shrimp, they're about the size of a penny. They ordered 1 kilo every other day for me to pick. These little greens right here, they're wood sorrel. So you had to pick 2 or 3 boxes at a time and to clean them, and just to do that as a stage, but that's what you have to do. That's what you have to start at. But why is it that we do that? Why is it that we just go out here and just do the worst tasks? Well, the first thing is a point of view. We have to find a unique point of view. I'm from Houston, and if I were to ever stay in Houston, all my life, all the times not go out, not go to New York, not go to Chicago, not go to Napa, I would have a very narrow point of view. I didn't do that for the longest time. But when I go out there, I'm inspired. And for new culinary creations to be made, you have to be inspired. Second is culture. I don't think anyone ever really appreciates their own culture until they've seen someone else's. You don't ever see the little nuances in how you celebrate Christmas or how you go and live everyday life. And third, it's humbleness. I actually kind of have a little story just to show you, because when you're a stage, you're such the low, you realize that everybody is the same. And only when you do that, can you start to really work from the ground up. My first day at Indewolf, which is the stage in Belgium, I for some reason have this really dumb rule when the first day you stage. You don't ask for water, you don't go to the bathroom, and you eat as little as possible. But the day before, I'd just gotten off a plane ride, and so we went out that night, and they tried to show me a good time, and I was heavily jet lagged. And so I started work next day, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm so tired, slightly hungover, so we go work through the day. I work through all my tasks. I think I'm doing great, and then we do dinner service. Something different that's really coming along lately in restaurants is that the chefs, the cooks, run out the food to everybody, to all the diners, so that you can see the chef talking to you. It's a part of something we can all learn. And so we can talk to the people that make the food and see how excited they are about it. So it was the last plate of the night. I'm running the food out, and I take one step. There's a big step up onto the dining room, and I trip all over it. The plates go flying to the dining room. There's a big crash. I'm sitting there, and I kind of want to die or just book a ticket to back home. But I started from the very beginning. I realized, you know, everybody can trip. Everyone has tripped. You have to start from ground zero. So how do you create food culture out of this? Oops. Next page. I mean, how does the... Let me give you a couple of examples. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of people in the industry. There's this young... She went to school in UC Berkeley. She went to France her last year at UC Berkeley, loved it, loved the cuisine, loved the way that things were going, and just went back home and realized nothing was like that. But the ways that she saw their point of view, the French way of life, from the farm to the table, from the ground to the chef, it changed everything in her mind. That person who did that was Alice Waters. She is considered to be the founder of California cuisine now, and she is one of those little, founders of this little thing called the farm-to-table movement that, you know, everybody uses now. The second person I want to talk to you about, worked in, when he was a very young age, went to the best school, went to America Go alumni. He worked at Trotters, two of the best restaurants in the U.S. Thank you. Where am I now? But he took a little side trip when he was over at the French Laundry. He went to this little restaurant called El Bulli. It's off the coast of Spain. You may or may not have heard of it. Pellegrino continually listed it as one of the top restaurants in the world, if not the top restaurant in the world. And something intrigued him. He was inspired by the culture and the way that they cook the food. This person is Grant Achatz. He's one of the most forward-thinking chefs, the most internationally recognized ones. A third person I want to talk about, he loved food all his life, didn't go to culinary school to start it with, went and did something else. He's a Korean guy, a big Korean family, they all love to eat. And so he went and cooked in a few restaurants before he went to culinary school. He loved it, but what he really wanted to do was go open a ramen shop. So he went to Japan. He went and did a stage in Japan, and but he was so humbled. The chef wouldn't even let him touch the knives. He couldn't cut the noodles. He cut pieces of paper and wouldn't be able to be put in front of any of the customers. But this guy now is David Chang. He came home, opened up a humble little restaurant, and now if you see a pork bun on a menu, probably some chef was very inspired to the fact, you know what, David Chang can put on a pork bun on a menu, the humblest of the most humble, and I can too. And so I'm gonna give you a couple pictures of the food that we did over in Belgium and Denmark, and this is one of those things like. Really, I could have kept it at that. I could have kept it just to go abroad, just to learn the technical aspects of it. But these are the things, this is instead is what I really remember. Picking herbs in the field in the morning. All the friends that I made, all the cultures, all the connections that I made. Going and spending Christmas, and I don't even know how to say that. That's my wife, by the way. Hoerbeck is what I remember. Drinking beer in Belgium, visiting the memorial to the Holocaust in Berlin, things like that, culture. Where am I? Oh gosh. So how does this all relate? How does this all relate to everything? I want you to push the people that cook your food. I want you to push them to go out there and stage, because you can only create a food culture with inspired people. You need to have them go out there. You need to have them go all the way out there to whatever part of the land to be inspired. Oh, this is my wife and I, Noma, by the way. I just wanted to let you guys know what kind of a fantastic culture we have here in the Gulf. Because, you know what, I never saw it until I left here. I never saw the amazing seafood that we had here. I never saw how exactly we can grow out here. When people ask me what I cook, I always try to say modern Texas cuisine. modern third coast cuisine, modern Gulf cuisine. But you know what? They have no idea what that means because they don't see what we can do. They don't ever see the ingredients that we have. My time is up, but I'm going to just ask you, please, to request forward thinking in your food. Request everybody to go out there and do their time, to be inspired. And only by that can we create a food culture. Thank you so much.